The second book of Kings, chapter 19. Hear the word of the Lord. Hezekiah consults Isaiah. When King Hezekiah heard it, he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna the secretary, and the senior priests, covered with sackcloth, to the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos. They said to him, Thus says Hezekiah, this day is a day of distress, of rebuke, and of disgrace. Children have come to the birth, and there is no strength to bring them forth. It may be that the Lord your God heard all the words of the Rabshakeh, whom his master, the king of Assyria, has sent to mock the living God, and will rebuke the words which the Lord your God has heard. Therefore, lift up your prayer for the remnant that is left. When the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, Isaiah said to them, Say to your master, Thus says the Lord, Do not be afraid because of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have reviled me. Behold, I will put a spirit in him, so that he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. Sennacherib's threat. The Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria fighting against Libnah. For he heard that the king had left Lachish. And when the king heard concerning Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, behold, he has set out to fight against you. He sent messengers again to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah. Do not let your God, on whom you rely, deceive you by promising that Jerusalem will not be given in the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, you have heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands, destroying them utterly. And shall you be delivered? How the gods of the nations delivered them, the nations which my fathers destroyed, Gozan, Haran, Rasaph, and the people of Eden, who were in Telassar. Where is the king of Hamath, the king of Arpad, the king of the city of Sepharvaim, the king of Hina, or the king of Iowa? Hezekiah's prayer. Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, the God of Israel, who art enthroned above the cherubim, thou art the God, thou alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thy ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thy eyes, O Lord, and see and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to mock the living God. Of a truth of Lord, Of a truth, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they were destroyed. So now, O Lord our God, save us, I beseech thee, from his hands, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou, O Lord, art God alone. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, sent to Hezekiah, saying, Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, your prayer to me about Sennacherib, king of Assyria, I have heard. This is the word that the Lord has spoken concerning him. She despises you, she scorns you, the virgin daughter of Zion. She wags her head behind you, the daughter of Jerusalem. Whom have you mocked and reviled? Against whom have you raised your voice and hotly lifted your eyes? Against the Holy One of Israel. By your messengers you have mocked the Lord, and you have said, with my many chariots I have gone up the heights of the mountains to the far recesses of Lebanon. I felled it, its tallest cedars, its choicest cypresses. I entered its farthest retreat, its densest forests. I dug wells and drank foreign waters, and I dried up with the sole of my foot all the streams of Egypt. Have you not heard that I determined it long ago? I planned from days of old what now I bring to pass, that you should turn fortified cities into heaps of ruins, while their inhabitants, shorn of strength, are dismayed and confounded, and have become like plants of the field, and like tender grass, like grass on the housetops, blighted before it is grown. But I know you are sitting down, and you are going out and coming in, and you are raging against me, because you have raged against me, and your arrogance has come into my ears. I will put my hook in your nose, and my bit in your mouth, and I will turn your back on the way by which you came. And this shall be the sign for you. This year you shall eat what grows of itself, and in the second year what springs of the same. Then in the third year sow and reap, and plant vineyards, and eat their fruits. And the surviving remnant of the house of Judah shall again take root downwards, and bear fruit upwards. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and out of Mount Zion a band of survivors. The seal of the Lord will do this. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into the city, or shoot an arrow there, or come before it with a shield, or cast up a siege mount against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and he shall not come into the city, says the Lord. For I will defend the city to save it, for my own sake and for the sake of my servant David. Sennacherib, defeat and death. And that night the angel of the Lord went forth and slew 185,000 in the camp of the Assyrians. And when men arose early in the morning, behold, these were all dead bodies. Then Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went home and dwelt at Nineveh. And as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch, his god Adrammelech, and Sharezer, his sons, slew him with the sword, and escaped into the land of Arath. And Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. This is the word of the God to us. O Lord, open our hearts that you put in the practice that which you have revealed to us.